Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my mom. Her name is Momma Lynn. And we're going to be doing an interview. So we're just going to jump right into it. Okay, I have questions and she's going to answer them. That's how interviews work.
To the best of my ability.
Okay. Alright. Were you big yourself growing up? And if so, how did that affect you?
Well, I was always a chubby little girl, and in some ways it affected my self-esteem, especially when it came to boys. I mean, as long as I was around girls, I felt pretty much okay, but I felt like I was fat because the boys really weren't paying attention to me, and I thought that was the reason why.
So you thought that boys didn't pay attention to you because you were fat?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, I was always a chubby little girl. I was always, a little chubbier than all the other girls. My only saving grace was that I was short, so I wasn't like a big chubby girl. I was just a little chubby girl, if there's such a thing. But in terms of my self-esteem, I felt pretty okay. Again, except I knew the boys weren't looking at me.
Okay. So when did you start to build your confidence?
Once I got to college, I went to an HBCU, and there were all types of girls there. There were girls who were bigger than me, smaller than me, taller, shorter, and I just felt more confident in myself. Plus, there were a wider variety of boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, they started to notice.
But I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
So did you base your self-confidence on if boys paid attention to you?
No, not really. But I mean, at a certain point, when I was interested in boys, I noticed that they weren't so interested in me. So I started to wonder why that was.
So you just made the correlation, because it must be because I'm fat.
Right. I didn't think, oh, well, they probably don't like me because I'm ugly. No.
Mm-hmm.
Or they probably don't like me because I'm smarter than they are. No. I just made that connection.
Okay. So when you found out you were having a daughter, were you worried that she'd become fat as well?
No, I wasn't. That really never crossed my mind. I mean, my thoughts were that she would be healthy and that she would be well-rounded, and her her physical size did not even cross my mind. I mean, I didn't even think about it.
Okay, so when did you notice that I was gaining weight?
I guess in about the second grade.
Okay, and
Yeah,
what went through your head when you noticed that?
She's chubby like me.
Okay.
Yeah, she's chubby like me.
Did you think should I teach her to be confident and being chubby isn't necessarily what did you I guess my question is, what tools did you give me to teach me to be confident in myself?
Well, I mean, I, like a lot of other people, always told you that you were beautiful and that you were smart and that I loved you, and because I really didn't see you being chubby as an obstacle. I didn't see it as being a negative. I have two children. I have a son also, and he's like on the small side. And I didn't say, well, I hope you grow. I hope you get bigger. Nobody wants a little man. I just felt like both of my children were beautiful, and I wanted them both to recognize all of the positive things that they had to offer. I mean, I never saw being chubby or fat as a negative. It's just who you are, and I recognized that all people, no matter what they look like, have some issues with self-esteem. So my job as a mom was to try to overcome those issues of low self-esteem in both of my children.
Okay. So, to follow up my previous question, when you did notice that I was getting a little chubbier, did you think to maybe I should encourage her to like be outside more or eat more vegetables or things like that? Or did you just to go off of what you said, just so it's nothing, it's not a negative, it's just who you are?
Well, as a parent, you always want to do the best job that you can do. You want to provide healthy alternatives. You want your children to be successful, and you work towards that. We were involved with swimming at the YMCA. There were camps. We did karate for both kids. We had a pool in the backyard. We did a lot of...
Did we?
Yeah, we have like that little kiddie pool.
I wouldn't call that a pool.
Yeah, don't try to,
I'm just saying we never do no laps, okay?
Well, in terms of physical activity and stuff, you did dance in middle school. You participated in a number of different activities, and I wasn't the primarily. I wasn't responsible for putting most of the meals together that we ate. Dad did that, and I'm not saying that he didn't make healthy choices, but we just tried to do what we thought was the best thing to do in terms of providing meals, in terms of providing activities, and for providing just a well-rounded childhood experience. I mean, I think some of the things that you participated in, not everybody participated in. I mean, you went to North Bay. Not everybody did that.
That's true, but I guess I'm gearing my more so not to necessarily say a well-rounded childhood experience, but did you particularly put me in activities that you knew would help me lose weight?
No. We did swimming for a while. I guess when you were in middle school, we used to go swimming. We went swimming a couple of times, but there were not. We didn't do any activities specifically that were geared towards losing weight. Yeah, weight loss specifically. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, why do you think it's important to embrace yourself no matter what your size is?
Because you have something to offer no matter what, and you shouldn't base what you have to offer or what you can do or what you can be based on how you look, whether you're chubby or whether you're thin, or even if you have some sort of other physical impairment, like an inability to walk or a diminished intellectual capacity. Everybody has something to offer, and that should always be the focus. And as a parent, that's what I think you need to focus on, to make sure your child has what he or she needs in order to be successful. You know, it's just like anything else. You have to work with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly you want to have a mindset of, I want to be my best self, but this is who I am. And I can still do great things the way I am absolutely now. Doesn't have anything to do with, you know, how much money you have, or you know, what you look like. So that was always my mindset as a parent. It wasn't like, oh, my daughter's fat. Oh, you know, we don't have a whole lot of money. Oh, this or that. It was always, oh, this is what I have, and this is how I'm going to work it.
Okay. Why do you think it's so hard to build self-esteem? And did you ever think that I had low self-esteem? And if so, how did you go about trying to build that up?
Well, I think everybody at some point questions their self-worth, and that makes them wonder how they fit in the world, and that can cause low self-esteem. And yeah, I recognize that you did have low self-esteem. You know, I recognized it in both of my children. I mean, there's just a time in like adolescence where you just kind of question like who you are, and you start looking at yourself in comparison to other people. I mean, I certainly experienced that in my day it was junior high and high school. And you know, because I went through it, I recognized it. So I mean, my antidote for that was to just try to say as much positive, you know, point out as many positive things as I could, and to just reinforce that, you know, no matter who you are, you're still wonderful, and you're still great, and you just can't give up. You just can't, you know, say, well, I don't have ABC, so I can't do XYZ. No, that's not what I tried to encourage. I tried to encourage reading, to expand your mind, and just, you know, getting you in activities, and just talking.
Okay. How do you feel about your current weight?
Oh, hey, I could lose a pound or two, but you know, that doesn't stop me from doing anything, or being what I need to be.
Right.
I mean, you know, my hair could be darker. You know, you know, I don't look at weight as an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am what I am. Yeah, I can lose a pound or two. I can exercise a little more. I can eat a little better, but I am not.
That doesn't hinder you from getting
right.
what you need to get
Exactly.
done.
I'm not curled up in a ball going, woe is me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so that leads me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned to love? I mean, how have you learned to love the way you look? How did you come to that realization? Like, was it a life experience? Was it just like a epiphany? Like, what made the difference in your life that when you looked in the mirror, you were like, yeah, I love that person who I see? Or are you even still working on it?
Yeah, I mean, there really was not an epiphany. one of the things that I recognized, especially after I became a mom, was how much my mother loved me and cared for me. And I guess I got it, but I didn't really recognize it until after I became a mother. And I recognized that there were people, two people in particular, who really loved me, who really, thought that
You were great.
right, exactly, that I was great, that I was wonderful, that I provided what they needed, and they look forward to seeing me and being with me, and that was totally reciprocated. I mean, I would come home from work and I would be happy to see my children, and I think
That helped with your self-esteem.
Right, exactly. Like I didn't really have to be I didn't have to have everybody love me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these two people,
Yeah.
if they, if I'm cool with them, then that's all I really need. Well, and dad at the time, but
Yeah, I feel like that is what a lot of people need to realize, is that like the world doesn't need to love you.
Right.
Like if you love yourself and like the people in your life love you, then that's validation enough.
Right.
Like you don't need the world to love you. You don't have to be perfect. Like you don't have to have the latest outfit or be the a particular size. Like if you're loved and you love and that's reciprocated, reciprocated, that
right,
that's that's all you need.
Right, exactly. And like I said, I really kind of knew that all along, because I knew that I had the love of my mom, especially. I mean, my dad too, but my mother especially. So I mean, I recognized it, but I didn't really put it together in terms of validation and in terms of self-esteem, and really understanding what was important in life. Like, there are certain clothes I can't wear because, I'm a little, right, exactly. I'm curvier, so that's not going to look good on me.
Right, crop tops aren't the move.
No,
sometimes,
that, plus, at a certain age, nobody wants to see that anyway. So, I am just confident in who I am and what I look like, and that's just my life, and that's just my mindset, and hopefully I have translated some of that to you.
Yes. I think you have.
Yeah, because I recognize, again, going back to my mom, that she absolutely poured everything that she had into me. And my goal is to pour absolutely everything I have into you.
And I realized that, like, as I got older, just how much of a sacrifice you made for, David and I.
Well, it's not a sacrifice. I mean, I
but
do
it is. But you love doing it.
Right,
It's a
exactly.
love
Right.
sacrifice. It's not like you do it begrudgingly. Like, it's you're happy to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you do a lot, and I realized that. Like, and I didn't realize that as a kid. I just think that comes with growth.
Well, you know what? You really shouldn't realize that as a kid. Like,
yeah, because you're a kid.
Right, you're a kid. Like, this is what mom is supposed to do. Like, I didn't realize it as a kid either. I'm like, this is, my mom. Of course, this is what she's going to do. But again, once I became a mom, and I recognized, and the whole goal is to make your children whole people, to let them explore and to be creative and to be the best versions of themselves, no matter what their size is, no matter what they look like.
Right.
So hopefully I've done that.
Yes, you have. Well, thank you so much for talking to me and talking to the world.
It's over?
Yeah, it's over. That's all the questions I have. So,
I do good.
yeah, you did good. Okay. All right. Thank you.